Oh, there it goes. Yeah. That thing is moving pretty fast. Well, this camera gets it good.
You see it?
Yeah. It's moving, 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 moving. There it goes. Where'd it go? I think there's clouds up there. Yeah.
Hey, what is up, guys? Long time no see. So where have I been? Was I abducted? Did the men in black finally get me? No. I took the last 2 days off to prepare for my little boy's birthday, which we just celebrated today. Had a great party, pizza, cake, and to be honest, if I never saw another piece of pizza or cake again, it would still not be long enough. I have had enough pizza and cake for the rest of this year at least. But it was a fun day, so I took a couple days off. We are back though. We're gonna have back-to-back videos every single day this week. A lot of stuff to catch up on. The first of which is this new, very mysterious video that was recorded back in 2003, way before YouTube, way before there was even an outlet to send your UFO videos to. And of course, way before the days where you could hang a toy lightsaber from a string in a tree and claim that it was an alien craft, like some of our competitors. And so this video has just sat on a VHS tape all of these years before finally a viewer of ours found our channel. He captured this amazing black saucer-shaped craft. He sent me an email, and basically his father-in-law had asked him to come over and check out the progress he was making working on his RV. So he was over there hanging out and noticed this very strange object sitting in the sky. Not only that, and you guys probably saw this too, but there's actually another object. We have this black saucer sitting in the sky, and then above it we see what almost looks like a white light or white orb that looks to be at some points moving along with the object, and then at other points from what I can see, the white light stops in the sky as the object continues moving forward. The source described the object as something shiny or chrome looking above the black object. He began recording this. He ran in and grabbed a tape. This was back in the days of the 8mm and VHS tape camcorders. Not like we have today, where you can simply whip out your phone. No, you had to go and actually get a tape, put the tape in the video camera, hit the record button, and that's how you got footage. And so a few years after filming this, he bought a device that allowed him to transfer the tape to a DVD. So that's what you're seeing here. Here are some still shots of this object. And as you probably noticed through the video, this camera seems to have a hard time focusing in on this object, particularly when it would be going behind trees and things like that. Technology was a little bit more stubborn back then. Although the source who was recording it said that he honestly thought that the object had some sort of cloaking device around it, that he could see this sort of shimmering, glowing effect around the object where it would almost disappear and then reappear to his naked eye, not just the camera. So he thought that this may have been some sort of cloaking mechanism. But nonetheless, this is a gem. You know, it's an exciting time when we get one of these gems from the past, from back in the days where when people recorded a UFO sighting, it was basically just for them. There was no intention behind it. And so for that, I would like to thank the source of this footage. Let me know what you guys think and if you've seen something similar. This definitely looks like your typical saucer-shaped design. And it is also not the first time that we have witnessed a craft and also noticed a secondary craft either trailing behind it or hovering high above it. So again, let me know what you guys think. Pretty mysterious. Here's a new piece of footage out of San Diego of some more of these lights that we've been capturing all over the world, sitting in the sky, 2 by 2. I'm talking about the pairs of lights that we're seeing everywhere. So check this out. Alright, so another set of these lights sent in by Esteban from San Diego, California. The source of this footage has said that he has seen these lights on several different occasions hovering over the same area. And if you've watched our past videos, there's been a lot of strange things happening specifically in San Diego and just generally the Southern California area. And I'm not just talking strange lights in the sky, but also strange sounds in the sky being heard by thousands really all over California. When it comes to the strange sounds, those are being heard all along the coast, from Southern California all the way up toward Washington. We've also been seeing a lot of strange sightings out on the ocean, on the coast. A lot of USO activity, as we like to call it. But we've been seeing a lot of these pairs of orbs, which always seem to appear 2 by 2 in every piece of footage we get. So let me know what you guys think. This just keeps getting stranger and stranger. And I wonder what the purpose of these lights are. Are these scout ships? Are these something completely, entirely different? Are these some sort of abnormalities happening in the space-time continuum? Are these portals? I don't know, but I keep seeing the same 2 orbs sitting in the sky all over the world. So, big thanks to the source again for sending that in. Now, I want to show you guys some very interesting new Mars photos taken by the rover. There's been a lot of strange things lately captured on the Martian surface. The first of which comes from this image here. I will put the link to it, as always, down in the video description. And we have here what looks like almost a piece of machinery, possibly an ancient relic. We've talked about the fact that there would seem to be a lot of anomalous structures, relics, ruins, from a time when Mars was just like Earth, and likely was inhabited. And so we found a lot of strange things. A lot of machinery, a lot of statue pieces, which again, that's another part to this video we'll get to in a minute. So here's the photo, and I want you to take your attention up here to the right-hand corner. So we'll go ahead and zoom in here, where we have this almost circular, it looks like a large sort of cylinder-shaped block. I mean, it doesn't blend in with the other rocks that have very sharp right edges, a lot of sharp pointy edges. And you're seeing the zoomed in version here. Here's the object, and I want you to look at the detailing on this thing that's wrapping around it. These markings, I mean, this looks like possibly hieroglyphs or a part of a machine of some sort. I mean, look at it. Look at this square that seems to be carved right into the side of it. And just look at the detail of it. Look how strange it looks. I mean, you can look at the surrounding rocks, and you can see how smooth the other rocks are and the other terrain. I mean, it's all pointed, square, or triangular-shaped rock, smooth on the surface. And then you have this strange, almost what looks like a cylinder block cut out with these straight lines and designs carved into this thing, wrapping around it. And just really makes you wonder, if only we could get a closer shot of these things. Here we have a satellite photograph of the Martian surface. This is taken from an app that you can download on your phone, and it's called the Mars Globe app. And it's very similar to Google Earth, where you get a 360-degree view of Mars. You can zoom down to the surface. And I was tweeted this mysterious picture of something sitting, either over or down on the surface of Mars. And obviously, it's plain as day, sticks out like a sore thumb here. And this picture is taken from the Planum Australis region on Mars, so you can check this out for yourself using the app and check out this strange black rectangular shaped object sitting in the middle of the screen here above Mars. Let's go ahead and zoom in. And this is by far one of the best I've seen. I mean, look at this. What could this be? And as I'm looking at this, from my view, this thing looks to be very close to the surface because you can see what looks like a shadow underneath the object. This object looks sort of more a brownish black, and again, it does have some definition to it, and it does have what looks like a shadow underneath it, which gives the impression that whatever this thing is, it's much closer to the surface. So, great find by the viewer of ours who sent this in. Check this out yourselves. Again, in the Planum Australis region on Mars. Check it out. Now, speaking on the hunt for extraterrestrial life, if you remember a while back, we were talking about the new alien hunting telescope. The world's largest radio telescope, in fact, that was being erected by China. Well, that new telescope has just gone live and is now online and searching. It is called the FAST, F-A-S-T telescope, located in rural Guizhou, a province in the southwestern regions of China. China's reasoning for building the 1.2 billion yen telescope leads back to their own interest in alien life. And you really gotta wonder, what does China know that we don't? What has their government found regarding the alien phenomenon? And what is their military hiding? Because like anything, you have to have a good reason, and governments, especially governments like that of China, who have already got their hands tied dealing with overpopulation, food and water shortages, and a whole list of other things that they could put their money to. No one spends that much money without good reason, and so they've built this billion-dollar telescope that took 4 years to finally finish. Now, on a side note, if you remember our last video where we were talking about this, there was a lot of controversy because in order for China to build this telescope, they displaced and kicked out about 10,000 residents who were living in the area due to the fact that they were within 3 miles of the telescope. So they didn't want anybody near it. They kicked these people out, so that caused them to get a lot of heat. But you know what? As long as we have other countries, other superpowers, also getting into the game, hunting for intelligent life, then I'm all for it. Good for them. And hopefully, when they actually find evidence, they will not keep it from us like some government people over here in the good old US of A. Now, lastly, before we end this video, I'd like to go back to the area in which we were talking about at the beginning of this video when we showed you the 2003 footage and we were talking about UFO sightings that have happened pre-YouTube, pre-internet, where there have been mass UFO sightings and alien visitations where there was no video camera involved, but just the experiences of the people who were there witnessing it. So to end today's video, I'd like to talk about one of the most mysterious alien visitations in history, and we've actually never spoken about it on the channel yet. And that I am talking about is what has become known as the Zimbabwe UFO sighting of 1994. wherein which on the morning of September 16th of that year, over 60 school children witnessed a flying object, a craft that had landed on the school grounds, and that where beings had come out of said craft and were also witnessed by these children. Alien beings, as in entities not of this world. So what happened here? Well, on the morning of September 16th, 1994, teachers, children, and school officials located at the Aerial School in Rua, Zimbabwe, watched as a flying ship landed, sat down in the grass, after which these beings came out in full witness of 62 children who were out playing in the schoolyard during a morning recess. Now, at this time, most of the teachers at the school were in a meeting. So these 62 children were out basically unsupervised in the schoolyard playing as kids do, and according to sources, UFOs had been seen in the skies over this area for 2 days prior to the incident. And this school is a private elementary school with students of mixed ethnic heritage. The children said that they had first seen 3 objects in the sky. The objects would disappear and then reappear in a different location. The objects moved closer and closer to the ground and finally landed in a brushy area adjacent to the schoolyard. And while we're talking about this, you are seeing actual drawings by the students of what they witnessed. And here in a moment, we'll show you some video featuring these children giving their descriptions of what happened. So the object landed in a bushy area adjacent to the schoolyard. This area apparently had not been fully cleared yet and was off limits to the students. The object landed, or hovered, just above the ground in an area about 100 meters from the students. The children said that a small man, about 1 meter in height, appeared on top of the object. The little man, who was described as having a scrawny neck, long black hair, and huge eyes, walked a short way across the ground toward the students. When he noticed the children, he vanished and then reappeared at the back of the object. The object then took off and vanished. The smaller children were very frightened and cried for help. They believed that the little man was a demon who would eat them, and this goes back to legends, specifically to the black African children who have been told these legends of something called the Tokoloshis, or the demons who eat children. So the children ran to a nearby teacher who was operating at a candy stand near the school and explained to her what happened. The next day, a woman named Cynthia Hind, who was at that time known as Africa's foremost UFO investigator, went to the school, wherein which beforehand she had asked the headmaster of the school, Colleen Mackey, to have the children draw pictures of what they had seen. When she arrived at the school, she was given about 35 drawings from the children, all of which showed the same object and alien being. The headmaster of the school affirmed that he believed that the students were telling the truth. And remember, these are kids aged 5 to 12. And this was also in a very rural part of Africa back in the early 90s. And most of these kids, if not all of them, did not have access to radios or televisions, and for that matter, really didn't know anything about aliens or UFOs or anything of that kind. Furthermore, one little girl told investigators, and I quote, "I swear by every hair on my head and the whole Bible that I am telling the truth." Dr. John Mack, the abduction researcher, and his associate went to Rua and spent 2 days interviewing and counseling 12 of the children and their parents. Now, interestingly, the older students said that they felt that the creatures that they witnessed communicated with them somehow, sending the message almost telepathically that we as humans are destroying our planet, polluting the environment in ways that will have dire consequences.
What did you see?
There was some like ship landed on the ground.
Why do you say ship? Did it have a shape?
Yes.
Like what?
It had a round top and it was flat like that around the sides.
What was around the side?
Just sort of like a platform coming down the side.
Did you see anything else?
Yes, we saw a black man running around. Just
A little man or what?
From where we lived, he was about this small, but we were quite way away. So he was about our size.
Could you see his face?
No.
What is your name?
My name's Luke Nell, and I didn't see the spaceship, but I saw the little black guy. He was all black, and it looked like he had long hair.
Now, I will put the link to this full interview down in the video description, and I highly suggest that you all go check it out and watch it. This is one of the most amazing, undebunkable, and well-known sightings that we have on record. These children who witnessed these objects and these beings were telling the truth about what they saw, and even years later to this day have not changed their story. It is one of the most well-documented alien visitations that we have ever seen, and it remains to this day a very mysterious footnote in the history of ufology. And yet another piece of evidence allowing us to proudly state with confidence that this work is not in vain, and that our search and fight for disclosure is very much worth the stress and skepticism and hate that we sometimes get from outside sources, and sources that would like very much to keep us quiet. So check that interview out. Let me know what you guys think about everything else we've spoken about in today's video. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe on your way out. I really appreciate it. If you have your own footage, email it to me. My contact info is down below in the video description. Thanks for stopping by. It's good to be back, and I'll see you all with much more in just a bit. Stay safe, guys.
Thank you.